Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Toy Amigos YouTube channel. This is Cheney180. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Dorohedoro Caiman and Nikaido from Sentinel. Alright, so initial impressions of the figure here. Let's go ahead and check out the paint apps and the sculpt on the Nikaido. The Nikaido is not articulated at all. That is very unfortunate, especially for the price point. But you do get good paint applications through here. The sculpt is nice. Not my ideal expression for Nikaido, but that's okay. That's fine. Everything looks pretty good. It's just, when you buy action figures, you want them to move. You don't want them to come with a statue. But let's go ahead and take a look at Caiman here. You've got some decent sculpt here on his head, which looks good. You've got his jacket looking good here. You got his knife that pegs in. Not hugely fond of that, but he's pretty tall, as you can see here. You've got his little spikes in the back there, little pins on the hood. Everything's on here pretty well for the most part. We've got paint in pretty decent places here. The sculpt on this figure is not bad by any means. Everything looks fairly good for the most part. So let's go ahead and take a look at some accessories. All right, so accessories, we've got a interchangeable head here for Nikaido, and she's wearing a mask. There we go, now we're focused. Mask, as you can see here, and that just easily pops on and off. As you can see there, so that's not too bad. Unfortunately, it's not any kind of a ball joint. Like, it's literally just like kind of a socket that you put the head on. So there's no plans for a figure. It would have been nice if they were planning a figure in the future to do this, and then it had a ball peg on there, and you could pop it on and pop it off. That way you would have like more expressions down the road, but it does not look like that. That is an option. All right, so Caiman comes with 3 different head sculpts here. You get this kind of like stoic, serious head here, which is cool. Good sculpt, decent. And then you can pull that off and put on his masked head here, and the sculpt looks good on this as well. Good paint job, like that. I really don't care for the that you can see that lime green underneath there. That's unfortunate. Oh, and that's another thing that bugs me too, is this knife pegs in, but it falls out all the time. That's very unfortunate. But you do get 2 of these, and they're fairly soft plastic, as you can see. It doesn't come out of the sheath. It just kind of is what it is here. You got the peg on there, so you get 2 of these actually. As you can see here. And then you get 2 unsheathed knives, which is, similar. Fairly soft plastic, a little bit harder than the other one, but, looks nice. Paint looks good, metallic, good paint job on the handle and everything. And then we get a open mouth head. So if you've watched the show, you know exactly what this is about. If you have not, and this is your first time, I would recommend going and checking out the show. It's a cool show. And then if you go through that, then check out the manga, which the story continues. But as you can see here, you get this, and basically this is to put other characters' heads go in here, if you catch my drift. But you also get 2 fist hands here, which are nice, and you get these little pegs in here, which are cool to keep the little joints from being too tight to squeeze on. And then we also get two gripping hands. So you could put both knives in both hands. So he has two of these knives here. So altogether you get two knives, or two unsheathed knives, two sheathed knives. You get two gripping hands, two relaxed hands, two fists, and then three different head sculpts. So let's go ahead and check out articulation. All right, so as mentioned before, Nikaido has no articulation whatsoever. However, Caiman does have a ball joint here and then a ball joint at the bottom of the neck, I believe. Yeah, there's a joint down here. And then there's this weird little overlay. So one thing that does bug me about Sentinel stuff is they have rubbery overlays for everything, it seems like, and stuff gets shifted around. That's one complaint that I have with like Storm Collectibles stuff as well. But as you can see, you can't get too crazy with it or else it'll pop out of the socket. But he can look up about that much. Looks down fairly well. Side to side pivot, looks all the way around, which is pretty decent. You got a top torso joint in here. You got a lower ball joint in there as well. The shoulder here is just a ball. So this is a ball connected there. That's very strange, but okay. So it's a big giant ball, and you can even kind of rotate it to work as a butterfly. You got a bicep swivel right here. You got a double hinge elbow, which does come up all the way, which is very nice. Unfortunately, you just get this kind of like weird peg out ball thing for the wrists, so you don't get much articulation. They could have threw something in here and had, this end of the glove on that end and then had like a ball joint in there. You don't get much wiggle room there for the wrists, unfortunately. So he does, utilizing both there, crunch over about that far and then crunches back about that far. Now the legs, they go out about that far, and forward that way, back about that far. You do get a thigh swivel in here. You get a single hinge knee, and this is about one of the ugliest designs I've seen for a knee in a long time. This is just, oof. This is bad. Like, I can't with that. I don't know why. It sticks out to me like a sore thumb. It is just not, I don't like the way that looks. Functionality, it functions. Like, it functions, so that's a good thing. But man, is that ugly. Look at that. That's horrible. You do get a boot cut here, so you can move there at the shin. You get an ankle hinge and then a pivot in there, and you do get a toe joint here. So overall mobility of Caiman isn't bad, but I don't know. It seems like I want him to be able to crunch over more, but you can get, oh, that stuff popping off here already. So you can get him into, some pretty cool poses. Ideally, he looks a little bit more menacing here with his, oh yeah, you've got the ball joint that goes down into the neck here. That's what I meant to say earlier. He's a little bit more menacing with his gas mask on. All right, so let's go ahead and check out some comparisons here. I think one of the only other Sentinel figures I own here would be Spider-Man, Peter B. Spider-Man. So that's how he stacks up next to him. Then we have your Bucky Cap mold, Marvel Legends body there. Doesn't seem like that would fit too well. For some reason, here he is next to Mafex Gambit. Alright, so now we've got final thoughts on this guy. Unfortunately, I don't feel the price point warrants what you get. You get 3 sets of hands, 3 heads, some knives, and a statue for, around a $200 price point. I don't see a lot of value in that. If this was, if Nikaido was articulated, that would be a different thing. That would be like getting, two good figures for, a decent price range. But the fact that we went with the statue has bugged me from the jump. I don't like that at all. I don't like the way the knees look on this thing. Everything else is the wrists and the knees really do bug me a lot on this figure. I'm not gonna lie. Everything else is kind of like, okay, cool, I could work with it. The fact that there's no articulation with Nikaido, there's no, down the road, there's nothing that we can do. Maybe they might come out with one, but it's highly unlikely. I mean, it's Sentinel. They kind of just drop something, that's it, and then that's what you get. So, yeah, I don't know. I picked this up because I wanted to see what a 1/12th Caiman and Nikaido could be like, potentially. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that have the 1/6 3-0 Dorohedoro figures, and they love them. And those are priced at, 150. So they're still cheaper than this set. You can get a 1/6 figure with soft goods for cheaper than this set runs you here for 1/12. So there is that. Am I glad that I got it? I guess. I wanted to see what could be brought here for 1/12. I think it could be done better. I don't hate it. If you really just are a diehard and need a 1/12 scale Caiman and Nikaido, then, obviously this is your only avenue. These are the only people that are making it. This is the only way you're going to get it in hands. So, the main thing that bugs me the most is the fact that we don't get any articulation on Nikaido. It's very unfortunate. And they did the same with Shin and Noi. I know that. Now, a good thing about it is you do get the two head sculpts, so you can kind of like finagle something together if you want. And I've kind of done that here with a Figma Darkness from Konosuba bathing suit body. I added some shoes, put some pants and a shirt on. So if I found some overalls, I could kind of make that work and then kind of make this work. But for that price point, I shouldn't have to do any of that. But that about wraps it up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to click like, subscribe if you have not already. Leave a comment and check out the podcasts. Chatmigos Assemble on Tuesdays and They're Not Dolls on Thursdays. And become a channel member for some extra stuff. We've got extra stuff that drops for the channel members on Fridays as well. So with all that being said, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. As always, I'm Cheney180. Take it easy.